So I got my truck pulled into the shop today, the daily driver.
That there's my girl. Anyone has sex with my sister, it's gonna be me.
I'm gonna be putting this cheapo fucking Amazon downpipe on it because I was drunk at Christmas time and thought, yeah, I'll just buy a downpipe for it, sure. So anyway, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is I turn my wheel this way, all the way cranked to the left so I have a little bit easier access in this area. I'm gonna want to pop all the clips out, pull the inner fender out. I just drove the truck, warmed it up real good so I can spray the bolts on the V-bands. Should make them come off a little bit easier without braking. I think I have one spare clamp for it. But we're going to start with that, and I'm going to just take my time, let it cool off a little bit, and go from there. So to start with here, take out that V-band, that's an 11 mil, and this guy right here, the brace to the, I guess that braces to the manifold kind of deal, and that is a 14 mil. And then there's two way back in here, you can't really see, but to pull the transmission dipstick out, I think those are 13 mil. So I got the V-band off, I got the exhaust just kind of folded out of the way. I got this guy out, the bracket bolt. I'm doing the transmission dipstick bracket right now, which is pretty easy for me to get at just with like a flex head ratchet. It's 13 mil bolt. My exhaust, yeah, I just kind of pulled the hangers off and just slid it back and folded it, but it's pretty easy being just a side dump like that. It's pretty easy to just move it around. So I'm going to get the transmission dipstick out, and then I'll go up in the engine bay and try and get the V-band off up there. So I got the top V-band undone. This is where the fun part starts. These things are in here really fucking good. They always are. My buddy took him like 2 weeks to get his out probably. And it comes into the turbo about maybe half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. I guess I could show you on the new one. So yeah, about maybe half an inch, 5/8, it goes in to the turbo. So they're a real pain to get in and out. Not to mention actually fucking wiggling it in and out. But what I've been doing to loosen it up, light going here, just to loosen it up, I've got it free from just kind of prying it out a little bit. It's hard, I can't really do it one-handed, but there we go. Just to try and get it started and loosened up, I'm wiggling on it and then taking a block of wood, hammering it back in a little bit just to get it kind of freed up, and then I'm going to try and, if I can open up just a little bit of a groove, I can get something to pry on it from up top.
3 hours later.
So I got her undone. My trick with beating it back and forth and prying on it actually worked. It just kind of popped out. I've heard of other people having a lot worse luck with that, so I'm happy that went well. Now here comes the other fun part, is actually physically getting it out, which it's kind of hung up on the firewall, so I'm just going to have to keep playing around with it. I might have to bend these heat shields in on it or something, but see if I can just get it out. It's hung up on the up pipe, the up pipe where it goes up into the EGR way up there. It's hung up there too. Sorry, it's hard to video in this tight of a spot, but yeah, you can see the flange up in there. It's just a little bit hung up, so see if I can weasel it out. So I got it out. This is them side by side. It was kind of a pain to get the old one out. But basically once I unbolted the heat shield, which was kind of a pain because I already had the downpipe loose, so it was kind of rattling around, but I kind of just wedged it in a spot, undid the heat shield, and then the downpipe just fell out, and I pulled the heat shield out, which I'm surprised because that seems to be a lot easier time than most people have. It only took me about maybe 45 minutes to get it out. So I'm going to work on getting the new one in. I think it'll work. The bracket hole seems to be in the same spot. It's a little bit longer, but I think it should fit. I think there's enough play in the exhaust to be able to get it in. So I'm having a real bit of trouble getting it into the flange on the turbo, so I just took a flap disc and just put a little bevel on the edge. I don't know if it'll help a ton, but I'm going to try and spray some lube of sorts in there and see if, because I was having a real heck of a time getting it in. So we'll try this and just see if it'll help it slide in a little bit, because I can get it about 1/8 of an inch away, but it's just not enough for the V-band to grab. So I got her in. Kind of the way you're going to want to do it is get your top in and get the V-band started, and then leave the V-band just tight enough to kind of hold it in so it doesn't fall out, but then do up your bottom bolt, which is back in here. You're going to want to get this bottom bolt in and started so your hole's lined up, because as the downpipe rotates, this is going to kind of move around, so you're going to want to get this in and started before you tighten your top V-band, because then you won't be able to move it down here. So you do that first, and then get your top V-band snugged right up, tighten up the V-band, and then you should be good. And then you're going to want to put your dipstick, your transmission dipstick thing back in place, put your exhaust back in, and should be it. So that's her. Just got to put my inner fender back in and put my grill back in. I just took it out so I could step on the bumper to get back in there a little bit easier. Difficulty on this job, I would say, is probably not bad. 4 out of 10 maybe, something like that. It's not something you want to try if you're not very patient. Like, it's not bad, but you just have to be patient and might have to be a little bit aggressive trying to get the stock downpipe out. It's not that bad of a job though. I would recommend trying to do it yourself if you're looking to do this on your Duramax, which if you're watching this video you probably are. Anyway, thanks for watching.